A world of horse-drawn carriages and hand-sewn dresses the Amish way of life holds a timeless allure, but the women at its heart remain shrouded in an air of the deeply unfamiliar. We said we went with the young folks and we didn't get to go out and live in the world and experience the world, from strict dress codes to no education beyond grade 8. Join us as we show you 15 lesser-known facts about the lives of Amish women. Number 15. The rituals of courting. Amish courtship is worlds apart from the modern casual dating scene. It's a serious business, steeped in tradition and guided by a deep sense of faith and commitment. When an Amish young man and woman decide to pursue a relationship, they do so with the intention of finding a lifelong partner to share their values and journey through life. The courting process typically begins with a young man asking permission from a young woman's parents to spend time with her. If the parents approve, the couple may start going steady, which involves attending church and community events together. Once a couple has decided to pursue a relationship, they will begin the process of bundling or bed seating. This involves the young man visiting the young woman at her home, where they will spend time together in a private room, often with a board placed between them to ensure that there is no physical contact. During these visits, the couple will have a chance to talk and get to know each other on a deeper level. They may discuss their hopes and dreams for the future, their shared values and beliefs, and their commitment to the Amish way of life. These conversations are a chance for the couple to build a strong foundation for their relationship and to make sure that they are truly compatible before taking the next step. As the relationship progresses, the couple may begin to exchange small gifts or tokens of affection. Finally, when the couple is ready to make a lifelong commitment to each other, they will announce their engagement to the community and begin planning for their wedding day. This is a joyous occasion that involves the entire Amish world, with friends and family coming together to celebrate the union of two hearts and two families. Number 14. No makeup, jewelry, or fashion accessories. In the Amish community, the concept of beauty is rooted in simplicity and modesty. Amish women do not wear makeup, jewelry, or fashionable clothing, as these are seen as unnecessary and even prideful. Instead, they focus on cultivating inner beauty and living a life of humility and service. The Amish believe the body is a temple and should be treated with respect and care. They see makeup and jewelry as a form of vanity, drawing attention to the external rather than the internal. By assing these things, Amish women are able to focus on their faith and their relationships with others rather than on their appearance. Amish clothing is also designed with modesty and practicality in mind. Women typically wear long plain dresses in solid colors with a cape or apron over top. Their hair is worn long and often covered with a bonnet or cap. Men wear plain trousers, shirts and hats with suspenders instead of belts. While this may seem like a sacrifice to outsiders, for the Amish it is a way of living out their values and beliefs. By dressing simply and avoiding fashion trends, they are able to focus on what truly matters in life: their faith, their families, and their community. Number 13. They cannot divorce. Divorce is a foreign concept in the Amish community, as marriage is seen as a sacred and lifelong commitment. When an Amish couple exchange vows, they do so with the understanding that are making a covenant with God, not just with each other. As a result, divorce is strictly forbidden in Amish society except in cases of abuse or abandonment. Even then, it is seen as a last resort, and the couple is expected to do everything in their power to reconcile their differences and make the marriage work. This commitment to marriage is rooted in the Amish belief in the sanctity of family unity. The family is seen as the foundation of the community, and a strong, stable marriage is essential for raising children and passing on the Amish way of life to future generations. When conflicts arise in an Amish marriage, the couple is expected to work through them together with the support of their family and community. They may seek counsel from their church leaders or from trusted friends and relatives, but ultimately the responsibility for resolving the issue lies with the couple themselves. This emphasis on personal responsibility and commitment can be challenging, especially in a world where divorce is increasingly common. However, for the Amish, it is a way of honoring their faith and their vows, and of building a strong, resilient community that can withstand the challenges of the modern world. Interestingly, while divorce is rare in Amish society, it is not unheard of. In recent years, there have been a few high-profile file cases of Amish couples seeking a divorce, often due to abuse or other serious issues. While these cases are still the exception rather than the rule, they serve as a reminder that even in a community as tight-knit as the Amish, marriage is not always easy or perfect. Number 12. Having children is mandatory in the Amish community. Having children is not just a personal choice. It is a religious obligation. The Amish believe that children are a gift from God and that it is their duty to welcome as many children as possible into their families. As a result, Amish families tend to be large, averaging 7 to 10 children per household. This is made possible in part by the fact that Amish women do not use birth control, as it is seen as a violation of God's will. The Amish view on childbearing is rooted in their interpretation of the Bible, which commands them to be fruitful and multiply. They see each child as a blessing and believe it is their responsibility to raise them in the Amish faith and way of life. Having a large family also serves a practical purpose in Amish society, with so many children to help with chores and work on the farm. Amish families are able to be largely self-sufficient, relying on their own labor and resources rather than outside help. Of course, having so many children also comes with its challenge. Amish women are expected to bear the brunt of the child care and household duties, often while also working alongside their husbands on the farm or in the family business. This can be physically and emotionally demanding and requires a great deal of strength and resilience. Despite these challenges, Amish women generally embrace their role as mothers and see it as a fulfilling and meaningful part of their lives. They take pride in raising their children to be hard-working, faithful, and responsible members of the community. Interestingly, while Amish families may be large, they are also closely knit and supportive. Older children are expected to help care for their younger siblings, and the entire community rallies around families in times of need. This sense of connection and interdependence is a key part of what makes the Amish way of life so unique and enduring. Number 11. No education beyond 8th grade. Education in the Amish community looks very different from education in the modern world. Amish children typically attend school only through the 8th grade, at which point they are expected to begin working and contributing to their family and community. Amish schools are usually one-room schoolhouses with a single teacher instructing students of all ages. The curriculum is focused on the basics: reading, writing, arithmetic, and religion, with little emphasis on subjects like science, history, or the arts. This may seem like a limited education to outsiders, but for the Amish, it is all that is necessary for a successful and fulfilling life within their community. The skills and knowledge that Amish children learn in school are directly applicable to their daily lives and their future roles as farmers, homemakers, and members of the church. After completing 8th grade, Amish teenagers are expected to begin working full-time either on the family farm or in a family business. For girls, this often involves a focus on developing the domestic skills necessary to run a household and raise a family. From a young age, Amish girls learn to cook, sew, garden and care for younger siblings, acquiring the practical knowledge and self-sufficiency that are highly valued within their culture. However, the Amish approach to education is not merely utilitarian. Amish women are also encouraged to cultivate their spirits through a deep engagement with their faith and community. They are avid readers of religious texts, devotional materials, and historical accounts of their people. They also actively participate in church services, Bible studies, and community events where they have the opportunity to learn from the wisdom and experience of their elders. Number 10. The sanctity of silence in the Amish community. Silence is revered as a sacred value, particularly among women. Amish women find strength, solace, and a deep connection to their faith in the quiet moments of introspection and prayer. They embrace silence as a means to cultivate humility, self-control, and a closer relationship with God. From a young age, Amish girls are taught to value the power of listening over speaking. They learn to be fully present in the moment, absorbing the wisdom and beauty of the world around them without the need for constant verbal expression. This emphasis on silence is not meant to suppress their voices, but rather to encourage a deeper level of self-reflection and spiritual growth. The practice of silence extends beyond individual contemplation and into community life. Amish women are often seen as the quiet backbone of their families and churches, leading by example through their actions rather than their words. They embody the virtues of patience, kindness, and selflessness, creating a peaceful and harmonious atmosphere in their homes and communities. Silence is also an integral part of Amish worship services, with periods of quiet meditation and reflection punctuating the prayers and hymns. This stillness allows for a deeper connection with God and a heightened sense of spiritual awareness. However, the Amish view of silence is not one of total passivity or submission. Amish women are active participants in their faith and communities, and their silence is often a choice rather than an imposition. They recognize the value of speaking up when necessary, but they also understand the wisdom of knowing when to listen and reflect in a world that often equates success with being loud and assertive. The Amish way of silence may seem strange or even backward, but for Amish women it is a source of great strength and resilience. By embracing the sanctity of silence, they are able to weather the storms of life with grace and dignity, secure in the knowledge that they are never truly alone. Number 9. Household duties. From the moment the rooster crows until the last dish is dried and put away, Amish women are in constant motion. Their days are filled with a never-ending stream of household duties, from cooking and cleaning to sewing and gardening. At the heart of the Amish home is the kitchen, where women spend countless hours preparing nourishing meals from scratch using ingredients they have grown or raised themselves. They create a variety of dishes that sustain their families both physically and spiritually. Amish women are renowned for their baking skills, with homemade bread, pies, and pastries forming a staple of their daily meals. In addition to cooking, Amish women are responsible for a wide range of household chores, including cleaning, laundering clothes, sewing, and mending. They maintain immaculate homes without the aid of modern conveniences, relying instead on traditional methods and their own ingenuity. Amish women also make many of their family's clothes by hand, ensuring that everyone is dressed modestly and in accordance with their community's guidelines. Gardening is another essential duty for Amish women, who tend to plots of vegetables, herbs, and fruits that provide sustenance throughout the year. They have a deep appreciation for the natural world and work in harmony with the seasons to cultivate and preserve the bounty of their gardens. Beyond these daily tasks, Amish women also play a crucial role in the larger community they often participate in, quilting bees where they create beautiful and intricately designed quilts that serve both practical and symbolic purposes. These gatherings provide an opportunity for women to socialize, share knowledge and support one another through life's joys and challenges. Number 8. Silent obedience. During childbirth for Amish women, pregnancy and childbirth are not just physical experiences but spiritual ones as well. They approach these momentous life events with a sense of quiet reverence, trusting in God's plan and the wisdom of their bodies. When an Amish woman becomes pregnant, she can't draw attention to prenatal yoga classes. Instead, Amish women rely on the support and wisdom of their community, turning to experienced midwives and mothers for guidance and advice. They trust the natural process of pregnancy and childbirth. When labor begins, it is expected from them to not cry out in pain or demand medication. They breathe through the contractions, focusing on the task at hand with a sense of calm determination. Many choose to give birth at home, surrounded by family and trusted female friends. There is no epidural or no beeping monitors or a sterile hospital room. Instead, there is the warm glow of candlelight, the soft murmur of prayers, and the gentle hands of a midwife guiding the baby into the world. For Amish women, this silent obedience is a way of honoring the sacredness of life, of surrendering to the will of God and the power of their own bodies. And when the baby finally arrives, there is no fanfare or celebration, just a quiet sense of joy and gratitude. The new mother takes her place in the long line of Amish women who have given birth before her, secure in the knowledge that she has brought a new soul into the world, a precious gift from God. Number 7. Rumspringa phase. For most Amish teenagers, the idea of leaving behind everything they've ever known is almost unthinkable, but for a brief period known as Rumspringa, they are given a chance to explore the outside world, to taste the forbidden fruits of modern life. During Rumspringa, which typically begins around age 16, Amish youth are allowed to break free from the strict rules and traditions of their community. They can wear English clothes, listen to music, drive cars, and even experiment with alcohol and other temptations. For some, it's a thrilling time of freedom and self-discovery, a chance to see what life is like beyond the boundaries of their insular world. They may form friendships with non-Amish peers, attend parties and dances, and even go on dates. But for others, especially young women, Rumspringa can be a time of great uncertainty and fear. They know that the decisions they make during this period will shape the rest of their lives. For Amish women, the stakes are especially high. If they choose to leave, they risk losing not just their family and friends, but their entire support system. They may struggle to find their place in a society that is vastly different from the one they grew up in, with its fast-paced lifestyle and endless choices. Many have never received formal education beyond 8th grade and may lack the skills and knowledge needed to succeed in the outside world. They may struggle with simple tasks like using a computer or driving a car, things that most people take for granted. And then there are the emotional costs of leaving, the sense of loss and longing that can linger long after the decision has been made. Many who leave find themselves torn between two worlds, struggling to reconcile their Amish upbringing with their new life on the outside. But if they stay, they know that they will be committing themselves to a life of quiet obedience and self-sacrifice, a life where their own desires and dreams must always take a backseat to the needs of their family and community. Number 6. Submitting to their husband's submission is a central aspect of Amish culture, particularly for women. In a society where gender roles are strictly defined, Amish women are expected to recognize their husbands as the head of the household and defer to their authority in all matters. The Amish believe that submission promotes order and stability within the family unit by having a clear hierarchy with the husband at the helm. The potential for conflict and disagreement is minimized. This allows Amish women to focus on their primary roles as homemakers and mothers rather than becoming embroiled in disputes that could distract from their domestic duties. While Amish women may defer to their husbands in public, they often wield significant influence within the home and the community they serve as the backbone of Amish society, quietly shaping the daily rhythms of life. The dynamic of submission is visually represented when Amish couples are seen together in public. The husband takes the lead with the wife following behind. This is a clear demonstration of the obedience principle in action, with the husband assuming the role of the decision maker and the wife showing respect and deference within the privacy of the home. However, the power balance may be more nuanced. Amish women have a greater say in this sphere, and there is often a more open exchange of ideas and suggestions. While the concept of submission may raise questions in contemporary society, for Amish women it is an integral part of their faith and culture. Number 5. Significance of wedding dresses for Amish brides. The wedding dress holds a significance that extends far beyond the ceremony itself. Handmade with care and precision, these dresses embody the values of simplicity, modesty, and tradition that lie at the heart of Amish culture. Unlike the elaborate gowns favored by mainstream society, Amish wedding dresses are typically made from solid colored fabric in shades of blue, purple, or occasionally black. They feature a plain, unadorned design with high necklines, long sleeves, and full skirts that reflect the community's emphasis on modesty and humility. The process of creating a wedding dress is a deeply meaningful and personal experience for an Amish bride. She will spend countless hours cutting, sewing, and finishing the dress herself, pouring her heart and soul into every stitch. This act of creation is not merely a practical task but a spiritual one, allowing the bride to contemplate the significance of the commitment she is about to make. After the ceremony, the dress is not relegated to a closet or preserved as a memento. Instead, it becomes a cherished part of the bride's wardrobe, worn each Sunday as she attends church services and participates in community life. This tradition of wearing the wedding dress 52 times a year serves as a constant reminder of the sacred vows the couple has made to each other and to God. It symbolizes the enduring nature of their love and the strength of their commitment to their faith and way of life. Moreover, the wedding dress holds a deeply practical role within Amish culture. When an Amish woman passes away, she is often buried in her wedding dress, demonstrating that even in death the bonds of marriage and community remain unbroken. Number 4. Can't work outside the home. In Amish society, the concept of a woman's place is in the home is not just a saying but a way of life. Once an Amish woman gets married, she is expected to give up any outside employment and dedicate herself entirely to the roles of wife, mother, and homemaker. This emphasis on domesticity is not seen as limiting women's potential but rather as a recognition of the vital importance of their responsibilities within the home. Amish women take on a wide range of tasks including cooking, cleaning, sewing, gardening, and child rearing. While some Amish women may engage in home-based crafts or businesses such as making baskets or running small shops, this is generally the exception rather than the rule. These enterprises are usually small scale and closely tied to traditional domestic skills. The Amish belief in separate spheres for men and women is rooted in their interpretation of biblical gender roles. The husband is seen as the provider and protector, working outside the home to support the family, while the wife is responsible for creating a nurturing and well-ordered domestic environment. While the majority of Amish women adhere to the traditional path of staying at home, a small number may choose to work part-time or full-time, depending on their individual circumstances and preferences. However, even in these cases, their primary focus remains on their roles as wives and mothers. Number 3. Strict hair rules for Amish women. Hair is not just a matter of personal style or fashion. It is a sacred and cherished part of their identity, a symbol of their faith and their commitment to a life of modesty and simplicity. From the time they are young girls, Amish women are taught to treat their hair with reverence and respect, and to follow a strict set of rules that govern and how it is worn and cared for. One of the most important of these rules is that Amish women must never cut their hair from the moment they are born until the day they die. Their hair is allowed to grow long and natural without any interference from scissors or razors. This is not just a matter of personal preference, but a deeply held religious belief that is based on biblical teachings about the sacredness of a woman's hair. In addition to letting their hair grow long, Amish women are also expected to keep it covered at all times when they are in public. This is usually done with a neatly tucked away. The bonnet serves as a symbol of a woman's modesty and humility, and is an important part of her daily attire. The practice of covering the hair is not just about keeping up appearances, but about maintaining a sense of separation from the outside world. By keeping their hair hidden, Amish women are able to focus on their faith and their family without being distracted by the superficial concerns of fashion or beauty. Of course, this does not mean Amish women do not take pride in their hair. On the contrary, they are known for their long, thick and lustrous locks, which are often the envy of women in the outside world. They take great care to keep their hair clean and healthy, using natural products like apple cider vinegar and herbs to nourish and strengthen their strands. Number 2. Living without technology. Amish women lead a life largely untouched by modern technology. From household appliances to communication devices, they navigate their daily existence without the conveniences that many in contemporary society take for granted. This rejection of technology is rooted in the Amish belief system, which emphasizes simplicity, community, and a focus on faith and family. The Amish view many forms of technology as potential distractions from these core values and as a threat to the close-knit nature of their society. They believe that relying on modern devices could undermine their self-sufficiency and independence which are highly prized within Amish culture. However, the absence of technology in Amish women's lives is not without its challenges. Many of the tasks that occupy their days, from cooking and cleaning to childcare and farm work, could arguably be made easier and more efficient with the aid of modern tools and devices. Electric washing machines could significantly reduce the time and physical effort required for laundry, while refrigerators could make food storage and preparation more convenient. Yet despite these potential benefits, Amish women are expected to manage their households and raise their families without the assistance of such technologies. This can place a significant burden on their time and energy and can limit their ability to engage with the wider world. However, the Amish approach to technology is not monolithic and can vary somewhat between different communities and individual families. Some may permit the use of certain tools or devices in specific contexts, such as using a telephone in a shared building for business and emergency purposes. Number 1. No buttons. In the world of Amish women's clothing, there is one accessory that is conspicuously absent: buttons. While the rest of the world embraces these small but mighty fasteners, the Amish issue them in favor of a simpler, more traditional approach, such as hooks and pins. At first glance, the lack of buttons on Amish clothing may seem like a mere quirk, a curious footnote in the annals of fashion history, but for the Amish this choice is deeply rooted in their beliefs and values. For one thing, buttons are seen as unnecessary adornments, a frivolous addition to clothing that serves no practical purpose in a society that values simplicity and practicality above all else. Buttons are a luxury that the Amish simply cannot justify. But there is another reason behind the Amish aversion to buttons in their eyes. Buttons on women's clothing represent a kind of vanity, a desire to draw attention to oneself through flashy or elaborate adornments. So instead of buttons, the Amish rely on a variety of other fasteners to keep their clothing secure. Straight pins, hook and eye closures, and even strings are all common alternatives, each chosen for its simplicity and functionality. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.